sprint to showcase their talents, but in this quick but memorable invitation conference, a few standouts have emerged. Now, here to give our special The Game Awards.
Oh, wow.
May special awards tayo dito.
Wow.
Volleyball analyst Dzi Gervacio. Dzi,
Yes.
I'm so excited for you because people are going to assume that this is official awards, pero hindi po yan official. These are all in the opinion of a Dzi Gervacio.
And we're not handing out trophies.
Yeah.
No pressure. We're not handing
just
out trophies.
flowers.
Just flowers.
Virtual flowers.
Exactly.
Virtual flowers.
I
I
like
think
it. I love it. I love
that's
it.
a perfect way to put that. So when you were thinking of this list, can you give us, I guess, your criteria or what stood out, why you made these choices?
I guess it's something out of the box because as short as the tournament is, there were so many moments
Oh my.
for so many people and so many teams that, you know, sometimes we forget what game day is it? Like,
Correct.
what's
Yeah,
happening? Is it
yeah.
still the eliminations? Because there was so much high-quality games played in this conference. You know, 11 teams for the first time, and then 2 pools. So there was a pool of death.
Yes.
So
Yes,
that
there
was
was.
so dramatic. And it made it to my list, by the way. And then, you know, having 2 guest teams come over and, you know, bang it out until the finals.
To spice it all up,
Yes,
as if we
exactly.
needed some spice, but we always do,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so you did say it. There were a lot of memorable games, sometimes in one day.
Exactly.
There were
Yeah.
2 or 3 that there were just. But what was your most memorable game? As we start with that award.
I mean, it was a tough choice, but it would always go back to the F2 Logistics and Choco Mucho game. Again, it was the pool of death.
Yeah.
So every game played in this pool was, you know, intense. And this match, I remember we covered it for the fan stream. So Mela and I were so shocked because it was already the 5th set. The stadium was so packed.
Yeah.
And it was
Yes.
14. Oh my God, I'm still getting goosebumps right now. And it was 14-11 in favor of Choco Mucho. The fans were already like leaving their seats, leaving.
Isa na lang. Di ba? They were
Isa na
shouting,
lang.
isa na lang.
But I remember saying this live
no.
na, you know what, Mela, there's nothing impossible. Talaga, I've seen this happen so many times over international or local. 14-11, caught up in 1, and F2 Logistics just did that thing.
Grabe, we're now seeing some of the highlights and saw that final point there for F2. You talked about the atmosphere, the environment.
Yes.
Iba talaga eh, no?
Iba.
That type of passion between the two. But then what was your favorite storyline from that particular game? Because there was just so much going on.
Right. I mean, I would always say, just give us 5 sets. And, you know, as a volleyball fan myself, I would like go home with a smile on my face.
Right. Speaking of, that was the second straight 5 sets ng
Yeah.
Choco.
Yes.
And then F2 right after that went 5 sets with Creamline.
With Creamline,
And
yes.
Petrogas,
Yes.
diba, after. So, you know, punong-puno tayo that
Yeah.
But that was the most memorable for
Yes.
you. Comebacks galore. Choco Mucho came back in the 5th set.
Right.
And then F2 came back at the end to win it. Okay,
Exactly.
let's talk about new players. Quote
Yes.
unquote, new players.
New
You had a
players.
couple of choices
Yeah.
as rookies of the month.
The
Kasi 1 month
yeah,
lang tayo.
1 month lang. Yes, so I guess Vanny
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
be the very first there. I mean, seeing her grow and, you know, fill up that role that was given to her by Signal. You know, even seeing her run from her graduation in
Yes,
Katipunan and
into
then
the game.
and then, you know, sprint towards
San Juan.
San Juan
Yes.
and then play her game. I mean, that's just proof of commitment, of hard work, of responsibility, you know, taking up that huge role for Signal. And, you know, Signal, team that has been with us for 10 years already, and then, you know, just living up to the name, living up to the hype.
Yeah, absolutely. And another one who lived up to the hype was si Cici Rondina, who
Parang
still
hindi
falls
naman.
into yung Rookie of the Year.
Technically.
speaking,
yes.
oh.
Yes, of course. I mean,
Wow.
you cannot not put her on this
Yeah.
list. Cici Rondina, the cherry bomb is back, and just proving to everybody how, you know, she's still in her top form. She's still the explosive Rondina that we know. And, you know, even if she skipped a couple of years of indoor volleyball for beach, you know, her name is still up there because of how she works, how, you know, every time we ask people about CC, they would always say, grabe, masipag talaga siya. And you can see during the games how, you know, she runs up and down the court, she dives for every bit of the ball just to make sure it doesn't land on their side of the court. Talagang grabe, workhorse tong si
Yeah.
Cici Rondina.
And she got better and better and better every game.
exactly.
Yung tally niya lumaki ng lumaki ng lumaki.
Yeah.
From 13, 14, 19, 21, 20. Talaga, what a... Are you surprised? Okay, just one quick note on both Vanny and Cici. One is, are you surprised with the quick turnaround ni Cici into indoor since you're very used to beach
Yeah.
volleyball yourself? And in the Vanny Gandler observation, the only rookie to actually make it to the top 3 ata, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Yes.
Diba? Did you see that? I personally felt like I saw her kind of like open up and just like playing freely here with Signal. Let's start with that CC point first.
For CC, I think it was a good fit. Naglolokohan nga kami na, maybe it's the culture of being Bisaya. And then your holy trinity, I guess, like in Maddie and Dina and then
Oo nga,
CC. Parang
tama.
baka ito na yung missing piece ng Choco Mucho that could, propel them further this year as a team. And nakuha naman natin yun. Ilang games na, 5-setter games kasi sobrang dami.
Tatlo yata sa kanila eh.
Yes, and it was a short elimination round for them as well kasi nga pool play tayo.
Correct.
And as for Vanny naman, I guess the way she adapted to the new culture, the new system, and having, I guess, a good environment for her as well. She kept saying that she has so many ates to look forward to, and everybody just embraced her, welcomed her with open arms. Kaya parang, I guess that's the reason why she was able to bring out the best games so far.
Yeah.
Happy
And
for her.
she's a rookie too,
Happy
so
for her,
it's
yeah.
very exciting
Absolutely,
to see
yeah.
how she's gonna play.
It just felt the fit was right.
I guess.
The
It's
fit
like,
was right.
It's like Ponggay when she
Went to Cherry.
Yeah.
Parang,
Great point.
it's a good fit for her. Usually we say, one of the good things as a growth measurement for athletes is, change your environment. Maybe
Right.
you never know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, diba?
Great point.
We want to move on now to, we actually talked about this last time around. Brand new but not quite. Yan yung title
Yes.
natin dito. And Majoy Baron and Eliza Valdez, returning players from their respective injuries, and it's just great to see them back and firing on all cylinders.
Right. I just remember so vividly how, I had dinner with Eliza in the previous conference during the finals week. And she was sharing a little bit of her frustrations, being sidelined because of her injuries. But, seeing how she caught up with the national team during the SEA Games earlier this year. And then now seeing her back in her form as the clutch player.
And the scoring,
And the
Eliza.
scoring,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
And, as you mentioned, Boom, we also saw her growth all throughout the tournament or the conference. 9 points, 12 points, tas ayan na, 20-something points,
Correct,
the
yes.
usual phenom form. Yeah.
And then Majoy,
and
of
then
course,
Majoy.
nawala na sa starting lineup a couple of conferences.
Yeah.
Now she reclaims it and does very well with it, and then takes home some hardware also.
Yes.
Both unofficial and virtual hardware
Yes.
from you too.
Yes, of course. I just texted her nga kanina. Sabi ko, Joy, I'm so happy. I'm genuinely so happy for you because I remember a moment that we shared last year, parang, and then now seeing you, healthy, fighting, thriving, and
Yeah.
winning. So I'm just so happy to see you're now here, from what we've witnessed last year together. And yeah, sabi niya, I just had to be patient, and these are the fruits of patience.
Yeah. Did you tell Majoy that she won your award today?
No.
Okay.
Surprise!
There it is. Perfect. We cannot not talk about the Kurishiki Blaze because
yes.
they have won so many fans, so many hearts in their
yes.
time here in the Philippines, and you
Definitely.
gave them the Team Congeniality Award.
Hindi pa enough yung
Hindi pa-
championship.
Oh, hindi pa enough. Oh,
Hindi pa
you have
enough
to
yung
give something
Two
else.
C's, championship and congeniality. But no, I remember, you're right. You mentioned it, Pao, na a lot of fans parang, their hearts grew bigger. It got swollen. Experiencing this kind of Japanese volleyball, and not just being volleyball players as well, but you see their culture picking up the confetti after
the
the
awarding,
award,
no?
would wipe their own sweat with their own towels. So, I think yun yung mga outside volleyball that the fans appreciate so much. Kaya parang for me, like, I really hope they come back next year. And, it's one thing to learn from them as athletes, as coaches, but another thing to, experience and see how Japanese people are.
Yeah, and one of my favorite parts, obviously, you and I were there during the game. one of my favorite parts was nung linalaman na sila ng fans ng Creamline. May sumagot na fans from Japan that were saying, "Go Japan, go Japan."
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
shouting?
yeah.
That must have been such a great moment for them also.
Of course,
right?
because I remember even before the finals, it was the last game for the semis. It was Creamline Kurashiki, right?
Yes,
and one
Friday.
of the one of the thought points was paano kaya sila magre-respond to the Creamline fan base, the crowd? Kasi parang come on, like if it's them, like a foreign guest team, and then versus Creamline, one of the, if not the biggest team in terms of fan base here in the Philippines, like how would they respond? And you know what? They showed that exactly last Sunday.
Well, we have so much stories from 1 month,
Yes,
which was a
exactly.
blur.
crazy.
But we appreciate you coming up with the unofficial awards.
Yes.
See, this was fun. And let's do
is.
this again next time,
For
okay?
sure.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much,
Thank you,
Dzi, for swinging by the game.